if we needed. This week for the car, we have changed the radiator and the water pump. The radiator, we found had a hole in it from a rock, unfortunately, but we're also hoping this helps solve our overheating issue that we're having going on with this motor. So hopefully tonight we don't get too hot, even though it's just practice. It is a lot warmer here in Missouri this weekend. We're looking around 85, 90. So hopefully that doesn't play into our problems at all. Spencer, you have anything to add?
Just go down, turn some laps. Hopefully everything works out, and then we'll see what it does for Sunday.
Yeah, so the plan is to practice tonight, and then tomorrow night we're taking a trip down to Lucas Oil because Spencer is not racing, to watch the Show Me 100. This is the first year, I think, in a long time that we've been able to do that, just because he's not racing on Saturday night. And then we'll come back up to Warrensburg Sunday night, and he will run Sunday night, and hopefully everything turns out well. So we'll see you when we get there. All right, we are here. We are unloaded. The car is ready. Spencer's ready. We're just kind of waiting for the people who run the track to get us into a meeting real quick before practice gets started. We'll probably do 2 to 3 runs at practice. Change a few things in between. We've got a few setup things that we want to test out before Sunday night. So those are what we're mainly going to be focusing on. The track looks great, honestly, for the amount of rain that we've gotten here in Missouri in the past 3 days. I think maybe close to 2 inches here in Warrensburg. So big props to the people who prepped the track here at CMS. They've done an amazing job. It looks great. So we'll just see how it plays out overnight. They're out there packing the track right now. We're just waiting on some logistical things before we get started, but I am going to record most of the practice sessions, so that way we can see them and you can see them for tonight. And I think that is all for now. If there's any updates, we'll kind of keep you updated on what we do to the car tonight, what changes we're going to make, and how things look. sessions in so far. The first one is still a little soupy out there, a little tacky. So we went out for the second session. He looked really good. We are going to make a shock change for the left rear, just to see how it acts after we do that. We did have a little bit of a cutting out issue, so we unplugged some of the gauges on the dash just to see if that fixes it, if it's a wiring problem. We've been battling this issue since week 1, so I think we're narrowing it down more and more. Hopefully this fixes it. Hopefully it's not a bigger issue than what it needs to be, and that we can go out the next session and everything is great. So Spencer is currently changing the shock right now in the left rear. I couldn't tell you exactly what he's putting in there. I don't know. But we're hoping that some of these little setup changes will just give us that extra edge, make us just that much faster, and get us totally prepped and ready for Sunday night. Finished our second to last practice session for the night. That practice session, they did like a simulated heat race, so they went out in their lineup. There was only 3 people in there, but kind of gave a little bit of a racing experience just for practice, which was cool. We did change the shock. Spencer, how'd you feel about that?
It was alright. Track's different than what we're used to. Felt decent. I mean, it's just practice. Still working on some cutting out issues. Gonna have a few more adjustments on that, trying to fix it. Other than that, we'll just hopefully everything works out.
Yep, so there's that. He looked good, he looked fast, ended up finishing first, came out on top, but it was just practice. How do you feel about the whole night?
I think we're making baby steps, but then again, you never know until you get all the electrical issues worked out or whatever the cutting out issue is. Because once we get that figured out, then we'll fully be at full power and be able to make the right adjustments according to the full power we got.
Yep, so there's that. We're gonna go out for one more session. Just give it another feel for the shock, see how we like it, see how he likes it. The track is drying up a bit, so you know, it's nice to race on all the different track conditions. We aren't gonna change any tires tonight. We're just running on old tires right now, just trying to get them used up because can't really be competitive in races with them, so we're just using them for practice. We would change them, but the only other set that we have is a little bit smaller, and on this track with the smaller tires, he'd be hitting the chip a lot earlier, so there's not a whole lot of practice experience that you can get from that. It wouldn't be like a real race experience, so we're just gonna leave those tires on there. They're kind of junk anyway, so that's what we got going. After this practice session, we are gonna load up and we are gonna head home just so we can get ready for the fun weekend that we have ahead of us. We are going down to Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri tomorrow night, Saturday night, to watch the final night of the Check the Harvest Old 100 race. So that'll be a fun night, a good night just to have fun and relax. And then we will be back at CMS on Sunday for the second day of their Memorial Day weekend racing events. That is the only night they are running the pure stocks here, so that's where we'll be. All right, we will catch up with you guys later.